Welcome back to Paranormal Debunked. It's been a while I've been in front of a camera, and you guys could have noticed that I changed the setting of the video. It is not a direct video anymore. It's actually a conventional type of videos because I'm not good with the conventional YouTube videos. I love discussions, I love conversations, and this is how you actually set up a conventional video. I'm going to be talking about the most ridiculous idea I've ever heard in my life. The idea that Christianity started in Africa and not in Europe. I figured out that if I actually use historical facts to debunk this claim, I would be doing myself a disservice because for Christians, reality is optional. But if I use the same Bible they actually cherish to debunk the same claim, I'll be making a good point. So let's get to it.
Now this church was built by King Lalibela in the 12th century, so it's about 900 years old.
As you have seen, this idea is championed by no other than the master of biblical falsehoods, Ronald. And Daddy Freeze, I think Daddy Freeze is actually part of his merry band because I've seen his reaction to his belief in the Eurocentric Christianity, his version of Eurocentric Christianity.
That word now bastardized and became from Jerusalem, became Jerusalem.
And each time I actually hear about it, I hear about it from me. I'm making this video because of one of their followers, they actually messaged me on Twitter and actually told me that Christianity was in Africa before it was in Europe. But the question is, if it was in Europe, if it was in Africa before Europe, how did it get to Africa? How did Jesus die in Mauritania or Asmara or Kenya? So, Ronald visited a church in Ethiopia that was built in the 12th century, like he said, with a Giz Bible in his hand. The Giz Bible was written, composed around the 5th and the 7th century, after the Christianization of Ethiopia in the 4th century. The 4th century, imagine the 4th century. Then where does this idea actually come from? Our journey actually starts at Act of Apostles. Supposedly this is written by an eyewitness. According to the Bible, it was written by an eyewitness, which is a book that actually tries to track the spread of Christianity from Jerusalem to Rome to all over the world. Let's read Act of Apostles chapter 11 verse 26. And when he had found him, he brought him back into Antioch, and it came to pass the whole year they assembled themselves in a church and taught a lot of people, and the Christians were called Christians first in Antioch. Imagine, this book is actually saying that the Act of Apostles chapter 11 verse 26 is actually saying that they were first called Christians in Antioch. I don't actually know if Ronald and his other brothers have never read the Bible or they've never read this passage, but clearly the Bible is actually saying that they were first called Christians in Antioch, and the disciples were called Christians, not even their followers. This is actually a passage. If you actually continue reading the passage, you actually see that Saul has not even converted to Christianity yet, and you see Saul actually died in the year 64 CE with Saul actually, who became Paul, actually died in the year 64 CE alongside Peter under the reign of Emperor Nero. So they were called Christians in Antioch before 64 CE, when the disciples were still alive. According to the Bible, the disciples were still alive. But according to Reno Mercury, Christianity started in Ethiopia in the 4th century, about 300 years plus after Jesus actually died. I think I know why they are doing this. This is actually to actually feel better about their lives, because this is connected to a lot of things, that the inferiority that they actually feel in their mind, including Daddy Freeze, and I'm actually ashamed to actually say it, because when you actually say that the Bible that we actually know that was used to enslave Africans actually says something good about them, and it's the origin of their connection and all. What you're actually trying to say is actually feel good about yourself. That we also have, and because the Bible is the famous book in the world, if this Bible actually says something about us now, we feel happy, that we actually mean something, our life actually means something. That is why they're actually doing it, because they couldn't find value and self-worth in something else, in their own history. So they are looking into other countries' history to actually justify their own self-worth and actually find their own meaning in their lives, So that is why I think they're doing it, and it's just a simple thing. Just by reading the Bible, you can actually confirm that this is actually a lie. So I'm making these announcements about our comic project on Twitter and the voodoo and investigation. Below this video is a Patreon link to my account, my membership account, that will be accessible to anyone who wants to support, and an exclusive members video for anyone supporting this channel, because what I'm actually trying to do is actually enlighten people and actually open their eyes to the problems they are facing, and I would like to actually do that by your help. Just become a patron, become a member. You for 1,300 naira per month, and you have free access to. You just see everything there. Every single thing is there. So thank you.